You didn't see that, did you? You just heard it.
We didn't, and now we're live. So
Oh.
welcome back. Welcome back to the FPL Tom preview stream ahead of Matchday 6 for Euro Fantasy. As always, I'm joined by my very good friend Jake. Jake, how did you find the quarterfinals, mate? Probably a little bit underwhelming, but you know they're all right.
Yeah. No, they were. I think the game was probably the best game,
Mm.
and I think I recall that I called that as the highest scoring game, and then joked that it would be 2-1. And it pretty much was, albeit the Netherlands game matching that. But yeah, no, I think that was the best game of the round, especially for the neutral. I think maybe the neutral might have enjoyed the England game a little bit because it definitely was a lot less cagey than we've played in the past. So
Yeah.
that was quite nice to see. But we still relied on Switzerland scoring to get us going. But even so, hey, we're through and we're going to bloody win it, aren't we? Even though we haven't really done much else. It's going to be the most undeserved two finalists, isn't it? France and England.
Yeah, it
But
is.
but yeah, no, it's been all right, and I think the worst game of the round at least gave us a penalty shootout to enjoy
True.
with the Portugal game. And I think a lot of people will probably be in the same boat as well, where actually that game probably benefited a lot of fantasy teams.
Yeah, agreed. I think this week, a lot of the way kind of the games went probably went for the people like me and you that don't have any chips left, because a lot of the kind of big teams went through, and a lot of the teams that we kind of obviously doubled up or tripled up or even quadded up on all progressed to the next round. So we're kind of in a healthy position, if you like, going into these semi-finals.
Yeah, we are. It's going to be interesting to see. Well, how many subs can you make for the final? I saw it's 4 for the semis.
4 for the semis, 5 for the final.
Right. Okay. So we're bound to. I feel like it's going to be difficult to have a full 11 really for the final, isn't it? Because you're gonna probably have to take 5 players out of a mix of 2 teams. Well, it's not probably you are.
Well, yeah,
But
but if you went for this round, if you went 4 from pretty much everyone, or maybe like 5 from one and then 3-3-3, I think you'd be okay.
well, the only way you're going to really do it is if you've somehow managed to get a team together where you've backed, say, England and Spain. Let's say they're the 2 finalists. You back them, you go 5-5, and then you have just 2 and 3 of France and Holland, and it pays off for you. But you're gonna be really counting your blessings if that pays off.
Yeah, you are. I feel maybe though, if you're on a wild card, like you've really got nothing else left to lose. Like it could just be worth doing that if you're on a wild card, just backing one team, especially from like a defensive point. You could just have every single one of their defenders and just gun ho it.
Yeah, it's not even a bad shout. Yeah,
Because if you thought, right, okay, I'm miles behind in rank, I need to do something drastic with my wild card. Picking a team that everyone else has got is not going to get you there. But if you pick a team and you think, right, they're going to do it, they're going to reach the final, I'm going to go full on Spain, full Spain defence. And if they keep a clean sheet,
you're laughing, and
yeah,
they've got to the final.
yeah, you're laughing. I feel that's the strategy you'd have to go for if you massively chase in rank.
And to be fair, I think that is the strategy you should go for if you still have your wild card for whatever reason. If you've got your wild card for whatever reason, I think that's the most sensible way to do it because, as we've clarified, the big hitters. Oh, don't know what's going on here. The big hitters have not struck gold when we've banked on them.
Yeah.
The ones that we've highlighted have been part of the team, but it's been more of a team performance, I think. Apologies. I think it's been a few rogue shouts that have actually pulled their sides through, or penalty shootouts.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll move on to talk about, considering France still not scoring an open play.
Yeah, we're going to talk about France, but you know they've got some other interesting stats as well that go with their team. In the chat, we've got quite a few channel members today. It's pretty stacked. We've got FPL Caleb, a turkey in a bush, Lauren's in here as well, and Thomas, who's one of our other regulars as well. So good stuff. Good stuff. What's going to happen in this stream? Someone has asked. Well, basically, me and Jake are going to run through our teams, our transfer plans for the upcoming semi-finals. We're also going to go through some data from Rob T FPL, and of course, answer as many of your guys' questions as possible. So let's start off with the first phase. We're going to talk about Jake's team. You know what, Jake? You had a better week than me. You had the best week in kind of our kind of friend group league as well. Talk us through it, mate. The defence looking pretty strong for you.
Yeah, it is. As I just try and get it up on my phone because, of course, I'm just staring at myself on Skype at the moment. Bear with me 1 second. Apologies. I do know off the top of my head. I think the thing that people will first look at is the captaincy choice.
Mm.
Fortunately, like we've said plenty of times, the big hitters, the Mbappes, the Kanes, the Gakpos, even people would have been really fancying him yesterday. None of them scored. None of them did too much either. Kane even left the game with a yellow card, so only got 1 point, so it was a bit of a waste to bring in.
Yeah.
Should have kept Nico Williams in my team, but who was to know that? So yeah, it's kind of just kept me at an even playing field with the majority of people. I don't think many people will have got too much more than me. I feel like the top scorer in the league you made was, what was he, like just over 60? Did he get over?
Yeah, just over 60.
Which is very well doing. Like he's
Mm.
done very well there. I'd actually like to look at his team at some point. But yeah, fair play to him or her, whoever it was. But yeah, I was actually quite impressed with how much I got. But I think, like I said, most of that was down to the fact that I had Portugal France defence in that dull fest.
Yeah.
But it's now left. We'll leave a few changes of dilemma now, but we'll move on to that shortly. But yeah, Pepe, Cancelo, happy with them. And Hernandez as well. I think he was robbed of the man of the match personally. I think you're of the same opinion.
Yeah, I am. I think he
Scored a penalty, got a clean sheet, played the full game, and Dembele came on, and I think I saw it on Twitter. He got 2 dribbles.
Yeah, I think that's the screenshot they put up was like, oh, it's 2 dribbles. Of course, that equals man of the match.
How many dribbles will Hernandez have done? Surely he's done 1.
Yeah.
Literally. So the rest of everything else he did in the game, surely should have overwhelmed that performance from Dembele. Not to say he was bad, but he definitely didn't do anything to earn man of the match.
No.
I think it's in those games where you do look at the defence. But anyway, is what it is. I got 8 points from him, so very, very well done, which means he would have got full recoveries as well then, will he?
Yeah, he did. He got 2 points for ball recoveries.
The Euros know how to play this game. Bloody hell. I didn't even realise that. But yeah, not too bad. Reinders with the 3 points, one ball recovery point before he got substituted. I went on FOTMob, he got taken off instead of whatever the other centre mid's name is, beginning with S, and he got a 7.3 in comparison to a 6.8. So I was fuming, but lo and behold, like we said, Gakpo didn't do anything. Depay got me an assist. I was doing an iron over bringing Marlon in. That's a good job that I didn't, because he was, well, I don't even know if he even played. He definitely didn't start. But yeah, I nearly fell for the 2-goal haul he got in the previous round. Didn't, and that paid off. Went for Foden instead of Saka. I don't think I really would have brought Saka in, so I'm not kicking myself too much there. But fair play to him for his performance. A brilliant goal yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was very nice to see him score that penalty. You could see just how much that meant to him to make amends in his own conscience. I don't think England fans really will care too much about making amends or whatever. You just have to get the result in. But I know that will have played on his mind, so that was nice to see.
Yeah, 100%.
It was really nice to see just the sign, just how composed all the penalties were. And my word, Ivan Toney, I don't understand how he doesn't look at that football.
It takes some massive minerals, that one, doesn't it?
Oh my word, he is insane. I was like, it would just be so typical that he puts an England shirt on and he misses, but no.
I said that to Sean. I was like, it's fully going to be Ivan Toney that's going to miss this penalty. Like, they were bigging him up, like, oh, he's got an incredible penalty record, and it was like, yeah, he's fully going to miss, isn't he?
Yeah, literally. But yeah, it wasn't to be, which is very good for us. Mm-hmm. Very good for my team. Looking forward to next week, because I didn't have any player. Well, I know I think I had Shaqiri. I had Shaqiri. Got a couple ball recoveries, or at least 1 point for that, if not 2.
Yeah.
So happy days there. I think he's probably the best person I would have had in. Don't think I ever thought Mbolo was worth a shout, but fair play if any of you had him in. But yeah, overall, like you said, got the best in our little group. 48 points, I think, is pretty good considering the round of fixtures that we've just had.
Yeah, there wasn't too many points kind of going, especially for the kind of more highly owned players as well. We obviously spoke about Kane and Mbappe. Ronaldo didn't turn up either, so, no points from Bruno. A lot of the highly owned players just did absolutely nothing this week. So getting 48, I think, is pretty respectable, to be honest.
I think people would have had Dani Olmo in a lot more if they knew he was going to start.
I think he was at 3% or 2% owned.
I think that's the way it is. I saw that Pedri was saying he's going to end Kroos's career, and then of course Kroos did the same to Pedri, ended his Euros, but in the end it actually paid against Germany because Olmo came on a lot earlier than he probably would have done.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he'll be a very sought after player come these semi-finals.
Agreed. The highest in our league, interestingly, got 69 points. That was the
Fair
highest for
play,
this
fair
week.
play. Do you have the team? Can you
Yeah,
see
I have the team.
who stands out for you?
Well, they obviously had De Vrij. They had Bukayo Saka. They had
Wow.
Depay. They had Wirtz. They had Hernandez. They had Pepe. But somehow they had Captain Van Dijk. If they'd
Oh,
have
and what did he get?
four,
2 points.
2 points.
Bloody hell, he could have been laughing if he went for De Vrij.
Yeah. De Vrij or Saka, even Depay would have been a better
What a
option.
shambles of a week he's had.
Yeah, he just got his captaincy decision wrong, but other than that, the points definitely came in for him. Let's move on to your team then for this week. Obviously, you've got 4 transfers to make. There's quite a few players that obviously are, well, not suspended, but they're just not going to play. You haven't got a goalkeeper for next week, so that's the first one. But
Well, I've got 4 players outfield that I will have to make a change on because I am going to spread it across the 2 fixtures.
yeah,
I do want a full 14 outfield players. So that sorts out my 4 free transfers. I do think I'll take a -4 just for 1 goalkeeper. I'm not going to take the risk on 2.
okay,
And that probably will end up being Pickford. I do think we're going to get to the final. I mean, it's a bit of a toss-up, really, that France-Spain game. Who knows? Spain should win that, and I will bring some Spanish players in, but when it's only down to 1 goalkeeper that I need to try and see through to the final, I'm going to put my eggs all in one basket, all in Jordan Pickford's basket.
yeah.
Hopefully that pays off. I have actually got a screenshot, which I'll just run through with you. I know you can't see it, but I'll tell you what my idea is for my transfers.
Yeah.
My transfers, I'm not sure, no particular order for who's going out because, of course, I can't remember. But whoever's been eliminated, to the likes of Xhaka, the likes of Pepe, Cancelo,
Yeah.
and I think there's one other midfielder.
Gunda.
Can't remember off the top of my head. There you go.
Yeah.
At the moment, I've gone Koundé in defence.
Yeah.
I've seen he's actually the highest scoring player on the game, which has just gone completely over my head this whole tournament. Haven't clocked that whatsoever. I feel like that's quite impressive considering he's not scored.
It's just
he's
ball
been very,
recoveries.
very, very solid in defence.
Yeah.
So fair play to him. So I'm going to double up with the French defence there. I am tempted to go for Luke Shaw, but I'm reluctant to because of the fact that I think he was kind of forced on just because we had to go a bit gung-ho.
Yeah.
We looked so much better with the left-footed left fullback. I hope he goes for Shaw, but I'm reluctant to commit to that 100%. Maybe I'll hold off on that and go for another England defender. I'm not sure. Go for Luke Shaw come the final if we make it that far, especially when I'm banking on Pickford. And I don't want Pickford to for England to not get to the final, and then I've banked on Luke Shaw and he hasn't even played. So that's another dilemma that I'll have. I reckon I'll hold off into that until Tuesday because I assume we'll find out the team news before the deadline for the French game.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, so that's something to consider. I've gone for Saka. Yeah, I've fallen for the fact that he's had one fantastic scoring week, and I've put him in along with Foden. Could be any of the England lads like Foden, Saka, Bellingham. I feel like any of them could pop up. I think yesterday's game was a lot more promising from us attacking wise. I know we didn't have clear cut opportunities, but we looked a lot more fluid.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can build on that again. Although it just felt like we just did not play 3 at the back at all. We just played the same formation with 2 narrow wingers instead. But yeah, whatever it was, it worked to some extent. And then the changes, once again, King Gareth got it right.
He did.
What do we know? What do the whole of our fucking media, fans, anyone? No one knows. Only Gareth knows how to do it.
Literally.
Because he's pulling his finger out when it matters. And that must just be the way in international football to do it. And then I've also gone for Fabian Ruiz. Now, I've fallen for the Saka high points haul, but for some reason I've put Fabian Ruiz in instead of Dani Olmo.
Okay.
I don't know why. I know Fabian Ruiz plays the majority of the game, if not the full 90 minutes, and he does get into some promising positions. He always gets a shot away in each game. He scored a couple of goals already, so yeah, that's why I've gone to him for now. But of course, like I say, I'll wait until the team uses up before I confirm those transfers.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I'll probably take out Neuer for Pickford, and Pence can just live long on my bench.
I had a question for you, right? What rank are you currently?
Bear with. Let me have a little look. God knows what I look like at the moment doing this all on my phone.
You just got like a sideways face.
Uh,
Well, Jake's just
I
looking for his
am.
rank. If you are enjoying the stream, be sure to hit that like button, push it out to more people, and of course, get your questions in because me and Jake will answer some of those throughout today's stream as well.
Find it as I'm looking, and I've got
If you go to leagues and then if you go to the bottom of it, it'll be like rank and then
few
England.
leagues. In England, I'm 118,000.
Oh God, where in the world?
The numbers dot me because I'm that far down. I am nearly 800,000.
Okay. Do you think then, with you being like quite far back, right? You've got nothing to really play for. Do you
Yeah.
think maybe when you're talking about bringing in Pickford, you've already got Stones?
Yeah.
Do you reckon like it's worth just going like triple England defence?
Yeah, possibly. I would definitely be tempted to do that. Like I said, I was tempted by Luke Shaw. I think I'm just worried that he won't start.
Do you think maybe then just go Gahey or Kyle Walker?
Possibly. Then another risk. Would you put Trent in even?
Maybe.
But then yeah, I feel like if you're going to see out the full game, you're probably gonna want to put in either Gahey or probably Walker even.
Yeah.
Because if things aren't going well, he'll probably do the same as he did yesterday and take off one of the centre halves. And Stones will see out the game unless he's injured or maybe on a booking and looking a bit ropey. But if he plays as he has very consistently, he'll see out the full 120 minutes should it go that far. And so will Kyle Walker. So I feel like the safe option there is probably Walker. Gahey is a close second, and then it's just whether I want to take the gamble, go for a Trent, maybe he'll play, or maybe go for a Luke Shaw. But yeah, it's one of those. I'll see what the media springs up to us because they like to give away quite a few things at the moment. So hopefully they can give me a few little hints as to what we're going to be putting out against the Netherlands.
Yeah, definitely. I actually kind of like all the other transfers you recommended, though, to be honest. Jules Koundé, top for a very good reason, just been absolutely immense at ball recoveries. I think he picked up a Man of the Match award, maybe 2 as well, across the tournament. Interestingly, France have only conceded 1 goal this tournament. Do you know what that goal was?
It was a penalty. Oh, yes, it was that penalty, wasn't it?
It was that penalty where everyone had like double.
It shouldn't have gone in.
Yeah,
it shouldn't have been allowed. So they should have not conceded this tournament, really, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So,
oh, no, to be fair, though, that does swing in roundabouts because Holland probably should have had their goal count against them.
True. But at the same time, like, still, the stat is there.
Yeah, it is. No, so they've not scored in open play, but they've also not conceded in open play.
Exactly. So.
So maybe I should be going.
Well, you're gonna get.
Maybe I should be putting Mike Mainan in.
Lad, you're gonna get the France lineup before the game. That's all I'm gonna say. So you're gonna know.
Well, I'd be very surprised if Koundé and Hernandez don't start.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be the exact same.
You'd imagine it'd be Upamecano and Saliba, wouldn't you?
Well, lad, you could very easily go Saliba, Koundé, and
Mainan.
Mainan, yeah.
It's Spain, though. The only issue is it's Spain, and Spain have looked so much better than anyone else this tournament.
But you've seen how shithouse football works this tournament.
Shithouse football prevails.
It does. Look, I'm just saying, if you went quad defence, imagine the points. Captain one of them as well.
Oh, now you're talking. Well, I do feel like it is that kind of game where maybe it's time for Mbappe to shine, maybe, but the way the tournament's gone, it is one of those where a defender being captain may actually be really, really a lucrative shout to go for.
Yeah. I'm just putting the idea in your head, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Because you've got like nothing to lose, but if it comes in for France, you're giggling.
Absolutely. Well, I'm giggling financially as well. got my pulled in the lucky cards by getting France in my sweepstakes. So one victory guarantees me at least runners-up money.
Yeah, very nice for you, mate.
Throw a couple. I was going to say a couple grand then. Throw a couple quid on England or Netherlands to win, and then I've won either way.
Exactly.
But I think they're more difficult fixtures. Definitely the semi-final, and you'd imagine Spain would be too much. But like you say, England have done it. France have done it. The shithouse extraordinaires, and maybe we'll see them both in the final.
Maybe so. Let's start answering some of your guys' questions before we move on to my team. Is it worth taking a hit to replace Carvajal with a second France defender to give me a 100% chance of having a full starting 11 for the final?
Probably not, no. Take the hit in the final, because you're saying you're going to have a 100% chance of having a full squad in the final, but you will then also have taken that -4 this game week, so you might as well save the -4 this game. You can take the hit in the final because you don't know if that'll backfire, and you're taking out a player that is going to play.
True. Big up Kanji as well. He says, "Hi Tom, just subscribed. Thank you very much."
A Kanji?
Not a Kanji, no. Thomas has said, thoughts on Kante?
Yeah, how did he do in ball recoveries against Portugal? I can't imagine he did too badly.
I think it was 4, 5. It wasn't anything exceptional, if I remember off the top of my head. I think he's just more.
Well, they're going to need him. They are going to need him against Spain. So I think there's potential for ball recoveries because you'd imagine Spain would have the possession.
Yeah, agreed. What rank is Tom? I'm currently 38k. So
bloody hell, lad! That's impressive.
We were 24 last week.
Where are you in the world?
That is 38k, yeah. Yeah.
England then?
What? I'm like 4,000 in England.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah.
But are you in the top 10 in Formula One?
No. I'm nowhere near in Formula One, mate. I've stunk it. Random FPL question. Who do you think will score more points this FPL season, Odegaard or Bruno?
Bloody hell. Oh, wait, it was actually a question?
Yeah, that was genuinely a question. That's what someone asked.
To be honest, I actually took it in as he was just taking the piss out of Bruno and Odegaard because I took that as Euro fantasy points. So I was like, well, that's a silly question.
Yeah.
Probably Odegaard.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I'd agree.
Yeah, nice. Do you think it's better to go for 4 Spain, 4 England, 4 Netherlands, and 3 France, or with 5 England and 5 Spanish players?
I think it's really what you're feeling. I think if you've got a wild card, just go with your gut. I feel like if you've only got the 4 transfers that you can make, then just do what is right for the team without having to take a hit, or at least without having to take too much of a hit. I think you shouldn't really be looking to take more than a -4 this game week at very most. And even if you can avoid it, then I would not take the -4. The only reason I am is because I will not physically have a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it depends on your strategy. And if you have a wild card, I think you just have to go with your gut there because it can work either way. I think both semi-finals are very evenly matched. I think Spain is the one I'd probably be more likely to back you with, say maybe go for 5 Spanish lads. But then even so, we've just mentioned that France have managed to get through without really doing anything. They've just got the job done. And England have, to a kind of similar way, maybe a little bit more of an erratic style of getting the job done from England's side. But once again, so have they. That being said, I feel like England-Netherlands will be a very, very close game. So it's up to you, is what I would say. But if you only have the 4 transfers available to you, then just make sure you're only doing those 4 transfers and not just completely whitewashing your team, taking hit after hit just so you've got the 5-5 and whatever.
Yeah, agreed. I think people are just trying to get set up so they at least have 11 in the final, and I do get why some people are taking minuses. I think for me personally, I think people might be underestimating France. Now, Spain have lost Lenormand and Carvajal to suspension for this game.
Oh, right, okay.
That's a big blow.
I didn't take that into consideration for the last question with Carvajal, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because that would suggest maybe a hit is maybe worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, it's just one. I think that's once again down to how the rest of your team's looking.
Yeah.
If you can field a decent side and you've got the right amount of players and you've got a group of Spaniards and a group of French, then I would still hold that hit till the final because you never know. You take the hit, Carvajal, then Spain win, and Carvajal's back in for the final, and you've just taken a hit on a player that doesn't make it through to the final. So I would hold Carvajal on your bench and take the hit in the final.
Okay. I get that. Do I go with Rice for ball recoveries or Saka?
Saka.
Yeah, I think I'd go Saka as well. I don't think ball recoveries for midfielders. I don't think the game manages to add them up correctly. It seems like
it's really helping the defenders, isn't it?
The defenders seem to just pick them up willy-nilly and just get a load of them. Midfielders, it's very sparse, and there seems to be maybe like a set of rules where they have to do something to pick it up. So it just seems a little bit more kind of lopsided towards the defenders, in my opinion.
Agreed.
What other questions have we got? Thoughts on going for 4 Spanish midfielders? Obviously, their midfield is quite stacked. There's not been too many great midfield options left within the game. Obviously, Holland really haven't got any options outside Xavi Simons. You look at
Grinders.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, you look at France as well. There's no real options there apart from maybe Kante, but again, that feels a bit of a waste. So.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that. I think 4 Spanish midfielders might be ever so slightly overkill. I think I'd maybe sacrifice one of those positions for a defender. I think I'd definitely be tempted to have. Well, I think you should have Williams in. I think I think Ruiz is a good shout. I think Olmo's a good shout. Is Yamal a striker?
Yeah, Yamal's down as a striker.
Fair enough. Well, then in that case, you've got the 3 that I think are the main hitters for points. And then I think really you should be looking at the England midfield because if you're going 4 in midfield for Spain, as much as that might pay off, you've got the likes of Bellingham, Saka, Foden. I think England have probably got the second best, if not ever so slightly the best chance of getting the most returns in midfield this game week.
Yeah, agreed. Dani Olmo is a must-have, someone said. I think that kind of builds on the argument you were just making there about Spain. And I think Dani Olmo is definitely a player that's going to be on a lot of people's radars. Probably as well, will still probably finish the week under 15% owned. So maybe if you're looking for a differential in midfield, Dani Olmo is probably the one to go for.
Yeah, I think I'll wait until the team news is out, fortunately, for that game, before I confirm that, though.
Yeah, agreed. Does Rob T have early projections on expected goals and clean sheets? He does, and we're going to be covering it a little bit later in the stream, so keep yourself around for that one.
Exciting times.
Exactly, exciting times. If you're enjoying the stream, hit that like button, subscribe, comment, get your questions in, and me and Jake will try and answer as many as we possibly can. But we're going to move on to my team selection. Let me just make sure I've got it up. I have indeed. Wonderful stuff. This is how my team got on. I think we finished on 40 points, if my maths is correct. Again, the big scorers for me were from the most exciting game of the round, the France-Portugal one, the 0-0. Costa with 7. I think he was only 1 save away from another point as well, so that would have been nice if he could have got that. In terms of the other defenders, not really too much to kind of shout about. Theo Hernandez was the standout, but the double Dutch defence let me down. Ake coming off early as well wasn't great, especially when bloody hell, you've got him in my head. De Vrij went and got the goal instead of Van Dijk as well, so that was a little bit of a kick to the nuts. Midfield, no one got anything in my entire midfield, so that's disappointing. Cody Gakpo captain on the final day. I was celebrating when he scored his goal, saw the replay and went, that's going to get ruled out, isn't it? That's going to get taken off him. And it eventually did. So, we could have finished probably, maintaining rank around that 24k, maybe getting ourselves a plus if the Gakpo goal had have stood. But it is what it is. We've had a little bit of a fall to 38k, but we're still in a decent position going into the semi-finals. Let me just quickly switch that over.
There's a very big risk if England win to 0.
Yeah.
That we're not going to have an out-and-out top scorer this tournament, are we?
No. It would all just be Musiala, the guy from Georgia.
Mekitauser and Gakpo.
Yeah, it would. But someone could get 3 in the final. and then
True.
add to them.
Well, we're going to have to hope for a Spain-Netherlands final if we want goals.
So this is how my team is currently looking. Thankfully, I've only got 4 players to technically replace if I want to, and we've obviously got 4 transfers. But I don't think there's any point in making a goalkeeper transfer this week, so I'm just going to play Jordan Pickford. The transfers that I did outline for myself, it's going to be Bellingham, Saka in midfield.
Then, so you're bringing Bellingham and Saka in for 2 that have been eliminated?
Yep. And we're going to then bring in either Dani Olmo or Ruiz for Bruno Fernandes. Then I think I'm going to replace Ake with Koundé.
Yeah.
That's
just run through your defence and midfield. And
so all the team then, all the team is what you want. So
yeah, I'm staring at myself, and I wish I could stare at your team.
Oh, all right, okay. I'll run through it. So the goalkeeper would be Pickford. We'd have Walker, Hernandez, Van Dijk, Cucurella, and Koundé. Midfield would be Simmons, Bellingham, Saka, Williams, Ruiz. And then my front 3 would be Kane, Mbappe, and Gakpo.
Okay, yeah, no, fair enough. I don't mind that. I think it's a good mix of players. Based on that, who do you need? Just purely for fantasy, what would you need? A Spain against Holland final, or is Holland and England the same amount of players?
No, I've got more England players because I have Kane, Walker, Pickford, Bellingham, Saka.
So you've ever so slightly backed England more. And what about the Spain-France game? Is it slight Spanish if you have those?
So I've got 3 Spain and I'd have 3 France.
Fair enough.
So I think that would kind of cover me from both of those angles as well. And then for Holland, we'd have 3 players as well.
Yeah, so at least whatever the final is, you're not making massive hits.
No. I've got those.
You say you get 5 transfers?
You get 5 transfers. So I should be fine, realistically.
Yeah, and you're not going to need a bench, are you? Because you're not going to be able to rotate.
No point in a bench. So I just need to make 11. So I feel that way, all the transfers that I've made covers me off. Now, I think the Saka one, I think I'm going to go for Bellingham. But I think the Saka one very easily could be, we have a triple Spanish midfield. Or I go for maybe Kante or Saka. Maybe that's kind of where the mind's at, to be honest. I feel every other.
And what your triple Spanish would be? Olmo, Ruiz, or is it Olmo or Ruiz?
Olmo, Ruiz, and Williams. If I went triple Spanish in midfield.
Yeah, I think that's the right 3 to have. I don't really feel like you should be looking at any more midfielders from Spain for anyone, should you? No. I think it's either all 3 of them or a pick of those 3.
Yeah, agreed. Which would you prefer then? Would you rather have double England in midfield, or would
was that Saka and Bellingham?
Saka and Bellingham, or you'd have triple Spain, or you'd have one of Kante in there instead of Saka?
I think I'd have triple Spain if all 3 of them start, which they should.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the sensible move. I think all 3 of them should start, and if they do, then I think you confirm that. But if we get to that stream and say Olmo is for whatever reason benched or someone is benched, I think it then breeds the question of maybe doubling up on England. Yeah. The only thing I would say is, though, of course, Bellingham and Saka, like I said about Stones before, they will see the whole game out unless, of course, they're injured.
Yeah.
So that's the only alternative you've got to consider, is those 2 will see the whole game out. Even if it goes all the way to penalties, there's a high chance Williams doesn't even make the 90 minutes. There's a good chance that Olmo doesn't make 120 minutes if it goes the distance. Yeah. I think Ruiz is the most likely to see that full game out. Yeah. So that's the only dilemma you'd have there.
Agreed. I think as well, though, England, attacking-wise, have been pretty dull, haven't they? But, I mean, it's now the semi-finals. I'm not expecting, like, a goal fest from anyone.
Yeah, that is true.
But you never know. We could get a Brazil versus Germany.
Yeah. What, in our game? Gakpo with 7.
Oh, my God.
Then we have our out-and-out goal scorer.
Is there any changes you'd make to this team? Maybe players you think I've potentially missed?
No, I think the only question I would throw back at you, which you said to me, is you haven't really gone all out on anyone defensively, especially when you say that it's not really going to be the highest scoring game week.
Yeah.
you've kind of gone quite even there. Like, would you be tempted to? How many defenders have you got to remove? Have you got any?
No, I've got none to remove, and I'm gonna. I'm.
Oh, in that, I feel like in that case, it's a bit of a tricky situation, really, for you, where
Yeah.
you've had your decision made for you.
Yeah.
Because of course, if it's not going to be a high-scoring game, maybe it could all pay off the fact that you've got a spread because they
Well,
could all be 0-0.
well, I've got. Well, realistically, I'm gonna have with these transfers. I'll have 2 France. I'm gonna automatically have 2 England because I don't have another goalkeeper, so I'm gonna have to play Pickford. Then I've just got 1 from Spain and Holland. So I think I'm probably slightly edging more towards France and obviously England in the defensive regards.
Well, hopefully we get 2-1 then.
Hey, you know what? I take it. I take it.
Yeah, a Koundé goal and a Pickford goal.
Oh, wonderful stuff. You'd love to see it.
I'd love to see how he celebrates if he scored. To be honest, that would be funny.
I mean, it'd probably be the exact same as if he saves a penalty. Just nutter.
Yeah, he is an absolute nutter. But I must admit, I as much as he's an arsehole, I do really like him being our keeper.
Yeah,
he is entertaining.
He is indeed.
I do. I think he had part to play in the missed penalty. To be honest, I know he saved it.
Oh no, it was brilliant. It was the way he just delayed it.
Slow, yeah.
He went back to go and get his bottle as well. He like purposely left it and was like, "What? Whoops."
Sorry, lads.
Sorry, guys.
And spoke to the ref on the penalty spot.
Yeah. He was like, "So I'm standing on the line. Yeah, is that where I've got to stand? Is it?" But yeah, it was proper mind games.
It was the smartest I've seen something like that done for a good while, because a lot of the time it's so obvious what's going on.
Yeah.
But it also didn't quite overlap into disrespectful, like, you know, when you see goalkeepers like kicking up the turf and stuff like that.
You mean Emi Martinez?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Like, I like that he didn't do that. He didn't say anything to the player. He just took his time.
Agreed.
So happy with that.
Yeah, it is. Right, let's move on to Rob FP. No, I always get it wrong, and you've disappeared for some reason. Let me get you back on. There we go. There you go. He's back. Rob T. FPL's data is available for the semi-finals. Obviously, Jake can't see it, so I'll read it out for you. The Spain-France game, the data is slightly favouring Spain over France. 1.18 goals predicted for Spain and a 34% chance of a clean sheet. For France, 1.08 goals, 31% chance of a clean sheet. For Netherlands, 1.08 predicted goals and a 29% chance. And then England, 1.23 goals and a 34% chance. So England, top scorers predicted over this semi-finals. It's a little bit hard to believe, but that's what the data is suggesting. Also, us and Spain, favourites for a clean sheet this week. What do you make of that?
Yeah, and it suggests it's the fancying an England-Spain final as well, the statistics.
Yeah. That's what they're fancying.
I think it's a bit like once again. I think it's a little bit harsh on France because they've been pretty solid overall. I think they just happen to be playing a more difficult side. I think it would be completely the same, but the other way around. Should it have been England in the semi-final against Spain, I think they'd be underdogs in that, and France would be expected to be the highest scorers and the best clean sheet of the chance if they're playing Netherlands. No disrespect to Netherlands, but I think based on just purely on the statistics, I think anyone of those 3 sides that played Netherlands would be expected to get through ever so slightly.
Yeah.
And anyone that plays Spain would be expected to be the underdog. So yeah, I think that's just the way it is, really. But as you've just pretty clearly clarified, it's very tight.
It is indeed. Like, the data doesn't really have. It has like a marginal favourite, I'd say, rather than a clear favourite. That's why I'm taking one of my Dutch players out over, like, you know, an England player or a France player, just because I feel it's slightly better.
The stats were right with who they fancied to win in the end. All of the expected sides to get to the semi-finals did get through, but they required 2 lots of extra time. No, 2 lots of penalties and 1 lot of extra time.
Yeah.
So it does show just how cagey this kind of tournament will get as it enters the latter stages.
I feel like, looking at this data, you know, obviously it doesn't have France kind of projected to do as well as clean sheets for England or Spain, but I just feel the way that they've played this tournament and that defensive record going in, I still feel like they are probably one of the best defences to kind of load up on.
Yeah, agreed.
Nice.
Because Spain could win, but they could win on penalties.
Yeah. France are going like Deschamps. Deschamps is a war criminal, just like Gareth Southgate. They know how to just nullify games and make them boring.
Well, they were in together when they both played for Burnley, so that's where they probably that's where the penny started rolling.
They just went, "What's this negative football? Oh, I'm just a big fan of it, really." Just go, Tony Pulis. Oh yes, please. I'll have a bit of that. Cool. Any final thoughts on the data, or all good?
No, all good. I think it still just keeps everyone on their toes, really, as to who they want to go for. I don't think it really goes, you need to have this player in. I think, if anything, we're giving people more food for thought because we're actually arguably counteracting what the data's suggesting and saying France is still a worthy shout.
Yeah.
I would even say, like, I'm sure people do have the likes of Van Dijk, maybe Dumfries, maybe Ake. We've both got one of those. Don't get rid of them. It's a waste of a transfer. You're at that stage now where it's not worth you wasting your transfers. If you've got a wild card, maybe you'd be more inclined to go for English and Spanish players and even French over the Dutch in defence.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've got them in, you've only got 4 transfers. I think it's a bit foolish to get rid of players that could still get through to the final because as much as we've managed to get the job done, it won't be an easy fixture, and there is plenty of opportunity for Holland to get through to the final.
Agreed. Right, let's answer some of your guys' questions. Without a hit, better to miss one defender or one midfielder?
I would say miss out on one midfielder.
I think I'd agree with you there. If you get the right defender with the clean sheets and even ball recoveries at the moment, the way the games are going, they're quite tight and cagey. There's not too much action going. I probably would say I'd prefer...
Yeah, because you're going to have... You can avoid a French midfielder at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You can avoid a Dutch midfielder at the end of the day because there's only really Simmons, like we've said, and Kante that you'd even consider.
Yeah.
I know I've gone for Reinders, but I did that knowing full well there was a chance of slaughtering on this chat.
Yeah.
I just thought it would be typical that a rogue player would pop up and score in one of these games. I just picked the wrong person, but really, like, you only need 4 players in midfield. There's a high probability a lot of us are going to end up with following the France-Spain game that we're going to have a 5-back of players in defence coming into that England-Dutch game, and that will have one midfielder on the bench.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sacrificing a midfielder slot isn't the end of the world because as long as you've got a couple of England players and a couple of Spanish players, you don't really need to look elsewhere in midfield.
Agreed. I think even the England midfield options haven't been overly exciting. Like before the game yesterday, would any of us have been speaking about Saka as an option?
Not at all. No, agree. I completely agree. I'm just saying, in comparison to the likes of France and Holland, where you can probably get by with just having defence and attack from those two sides.
Yeah, agreed. Is it worth taking a -4 to sell Saliba for Guéhi? I'm going to say no on that one.
Yeah, I'm also going to say no on that one. So save it till the final.
Well, like, Saliba's playing. Like, there's no real difference between him and Guéhi. Like, he's not suspended, is he? So
yeah, fine. Exactly. France could win, but concede, and England could lose and go out.
Yeah. If you have Ruiz and Williams, would you go for Olmo or Rodri for triple Spain? I feel we kind of already touched on this one, and we both agreed Olmo on that one.
Yeah, agreed. I think of course the only thing you've got to consider when you go in triple Spain, and I think those 3 are the right trio to have, is who lasts that long, who will make it to the 90 minutes at least.
Yeah.
And I think there is a high potential that 1, if not 2 of them will struggle to see out the game.
Yeah, agreed. Laura, one of our channel members, has said Bruno, Gundogan and Musiala to transfer out. Got Williams and Kante. Should I go for an English mid?
Yeah, go for 1 English mid, I think, and then just double up, get a couple Spanish lads, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, she's already got Williams covering that off.
Yeah, you can very easily go Olmo and Fabian, or you could even go and chuck in a couple English boys. Like, it really doesn't matter. I think Kante is definitely worth keeping because you've already got him. If you didn't have him, I probably wouldn't suggest him, but I don't think he's worth taking out. I think, just concentrate on the 3 players you have to swap out and bring in probably some Spanish and an English lad.
Agreed. Welsh Redder said, how do subs work in the final? Pretty much like FPL, basically, where you're not going to have manual substitutions. If a player doesn't play, someone will come in off the bench. Other than that, they're just going to sit on the bench. That's it. There's no manual substitutions in the final because you just can't change. It's just simple as that. Done. Same goes for captaincy as well. It's locked.
Locked.
Wow. It's locked, mate.
That'd be interesting. Oh, who would you say your two captains would be then if you had to choose now?
I think if I was to go for the France game, I think I'd go a France defender. I think I'd be tempted with Jules Koundé.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that.
I think I'd be tempted with him, and then the England one. I'd be tempted with. I can't see past defenders at the moment. Like the forwards just aren't scoring. The midfielders, it's at that point in the tournament where it's not even the best players that score. It's just someone rogue.
Yeah.
Like I think Gakpo probably still is one of the standouts for that Netherlands game. He's looked fantastic across this tournament. So I think he's a very, very decent shout, to be honest. Obviously, he's chasing down that golden boot as well, so he'll want to go and win that. He'll also want to go and win the game for Holland, so I think he's probably a decent shout.
Yeah, because he could score and go out and win the golden boot still.
Exactly.
I think if he scores on Wednesday, he's probably won the golden boot, even if they do go out.
Yeah, agreed. But then I'm tempted with somebody like Mark Gahey because he gets a ridiculous amount of ball recoveries.
Yeah, no, I understand them completely. No Reinders, no.
No Reinders. What about you then, mate? What about you? Which way are you going with captaincy?
I think Koundé and Hernandez, they both are definitely worthy shouts. Yeah, I think that's the only reason why I'm reluctant to commit to a Spanish player, because I do think at the end of the day Spain will get through. But I just feel like I can't call who's going to score that all-decisive goal, and I think that's what you need to do. I like how there's not been any Morata shouts, and I think that's just because he's not been great.
No.
But yeah, I really don't know. And then, yeah, so I think I'll commit, for now, I'll commit to Hernandez. I'll go slightly different to you. And in the England game, I think I might go big and captain someone like Foden.
Okay.
I get why you'd say a defender, but I think it's just the type of style of play that I have. I just go for it and don't really look back. I think it makes sense in the France-Spain game because it is just so tight. I think in the England-Holland game, I might just go, fuck it. If it hasn't worked out the captaincy the night before, I might just throw the captain's armband on someone that I can back to. I can just follow the whole game, be like, what? And kick off or whatever.
Yeah, I get you. Well, you're going quad France defence, lad. It's not going to fail.
No, exactly. That is true. I might captain mine then, actually, now that you say that.
Nah, go Koundé. You got his ball recoveries. You'll thank me later. You'll thank me later.
That is true.
But what questions have we got? I need to replace Ronaldo and have Gakpo and Mbappe already. I'm not convinced by Kane. Anyone else you think could be overlooked?
Yamal.
Yeah, probably.
Top assists.
Yeah, Yamal. I mean, his minutes are not secure, but at the same time, he's still really
looked
good.
Brilliant. He's had a very good tournament.
Yeah, so probably Yamal's in that bracket. I mean, if you wanted to take a risk, right, especially if you're chasing rank, maybe look at people that could come off the bench. Like it's
like an Ivan Toney.
Like an Ivan Toney, a Wout Weghorst. Like you've got to think a Hosselu. I think you've got to think a bit different. You got to be a little bit of a different breed. So
I think Toney would be a fantastic shout for like a rogue breed.
Yeah. But I think it's probably like Yamal is probably like the number one. Griezmann will probably play for France, and probably Depay just because he's on all.
Well, Dembele got man of the match, lad.
Silly me. Yeah, Dembele, sorry.
Dembele just has to see a minute of the game and he will be guaranteed man of the match.
Yeah.
I think Dembele is definitely someone we shouldn't overlook.
Yeah.
He might even get it from the bench. You never know.
Yeah. But yeah, there's that kind of forward you should maybe be taking a look at. Next question. Sell Simmons for Saka or one of my free French defenders for an English one?
I probably wouldn't do either, to be honest. I think I'd just stick to it at this point. I think it's not really worth taking hits to players that are going to play because the ties are so evenly matched. I think you could end up kicking yourself if you take out a player that is playing and then they get through. I think I'd focus on where you need to make changes.
Yeah, okay.
Personally.
Yeah.
If you've only got 4 transfers, then you need to just focus on who's been eliminated. If you've got a free transfer left over after you've taken all the eliminated players out, then yeah, why not go for Saka? Why not just give it a go? But I think you only do that if you have 1 free transfer left over after you've sorted out all your eliminated sides.
Well, that's what I'm doing basically with Ake. I've used all my free transfers to replace the players that are out. Then I'm just kind of backing one team over the other one.
Not fancy mine then?
No.
Why?
No. I've got Pickford, mate.
Yeah, I know, but mine, then you've got a mad defence.
James has said, I only have 4 players out of the semis. Do I use my 4 free transfers and save my wild card, or do I use my wild card now? I think you use your wild card now. I think it's wasted in the final.
Yeah, because you've got 5 transfers in the final.
Yeah. You can build I reckon back
and you only
one
need to
team.
build an 11.
Yeah. Back one team. Spread it out. You've got a bench this week as well. You're probably looking at maybe like a 4-4-3-3. Is that 15? 4, 8, 11.
That's 14.
14.
I mean, are you including the keepers?
Yeah. I'm including the keepers. You've got a 15-man squad, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Maths is not my strong point. But, yeah, it'd probably be like 4-4-4-3. Probably Netherlands be the 3.
Yeah.
Because then you've got a bench as well. So, definitely worth using the wild card this week.
I agree. Yeah, because then you're going to have at the very least, say Spain and Holland get through. You've got 7 players already sorted, and you've got 5 transfers to make. And 11. You're sound.
Yeah. Next question. Will Olmo 100% play? I mean, we don't have to worry about it because we're going to get to see the lineup before the deadline, so it's all good with that one.
It looks likely, but yeah, I'd just wait until the deadline.
Yeah. Off-call, one of our other channel members, he says, I've been toying with bench options, and since finally Palmer is getting some minutes. So, Palmer has looked very good since he's coming on, but at the same time,
the only issue is Gareth will revert.
It's going to be Gareth. He's just going. We're still progressing with the same team. So I'm just gonna keep with it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and he's told everyone that he played 3 at the back when we definitely didn't. So he'll probably tell the media we're playing Cole Palmer, Tony, and Gallagher or whatever. Yeah. And none of them will play on the pitch.
No.
You're just bullshit, so you can play the same team again.
Literally. Wayne King has said, how was Skeg Vegas? It was pretty decent, mate. It was pretty decent.
Did they win?
They did. They won 5-0.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, video for that will be out on the second channel at some point next week. It was a decent trip. It wasn't too bad.
You've had better.
I've had better. Gothenburg was a lot better than Skeg. Let's just put it that way.
I meant better trip to Skeg.
Oh, yeah.
At least there was no car crash, though, involved in this one.
No. Like, to be fair, like, all the sensible drivers were going. You know what I mean?
What, the one without a license?
Oh, whoops. Off-call put math is the nemesis to all. It is for me as well. I can't do math. I'm terrible at it. All right, we're gonna leave it there, but we are obviously gonna ask Jake the most important question. He got it right last week. It's gonna be the highest scoring game of the week. Jake, which way are you going with that one, mate?
I do feel like that Spain-France game could be goalless, you know. So I'm gonna have to go. That'll be 0-0, and I'm gonna go England to win 1-0, and that'll be the highest scoring game. I did it yesterday with my girlfriend and my family. We all made a prediction before the game, and I said 1-1 and England win on penalties. So hopefully my predictions are right here. We'll go France win on penalties after a goalless 0-0, and England to win 1-0, and it to be Phil Foden.
All right, okay, I like that.
What are you saying? Go into more depth. It's only 2 games.
It's only 2 games, isn't it? I want to know what you won for winning the predictions. What did you get?
I can't be said on this stream. Leave that
Oh no!
to me, man.
Oh no! Oh dear. Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking England Netherlands could be the one with more goals. To be honest.
Go on, go into more detail. What are the results gonna be? Who's winning and
All
how are
right.
they doing
I have got a feeling France are just going to nick it on penalties. Or no, you know what? I'm going to change my answer. France are going to win 5-0.
it?
Hear me
And all
out.
the goals are gonna be by Koundé and Hernandez.
Hear me out, right? They've created the most XG at this tournament, but they've just not scored a goal in open play. Spain have obviously got some suspensions in the back line, and a lot of people are fancying Spain quite heavily. A lot of people think France are like, oh, they're rubbish, whatever. And Mbappe's nose is broken, so he's not scoring goals, whatever. This could be it. I'm backing it. I'm backing France. I'm going 5-0 for France. That's the
Nice,
one.
nice. I actually do kind of understand that logic. They've been very good, Spain, but even so, they throw a lot of bodies forward. So on the break, they are susceptible. We saw that even against Georgia, where even Georgia managed to like break away with their lightning attackers,
Yeah.
and that is exactly what France have. They've got the ball recovery master of Kante in the middle. They're not suffering from quite as many suspensions. Does France have any notable suspensions?
I don't believe so, no. I don't really
So
remember France picking up a yellow card this tournament.
no, me neither, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then you've got that as well. You've got all the speed and trickery up top. So they are going to cause Spain problems. And then, of course, like you say, the suspensions really will have a part to play in it. So maybe it's not quite as clear cut for Spain as I thought.
Yeah.
I think they've got quite an aged defence as well. With I assume Nacho will be playing.
Yeah, Nacho will be playing.
Don't get me wrong; he's very experienced, very good at what he does. But against the likes of Mbappe, Dembele, even Kolo Muani, should he play at some point? Like they've got pace that can really hurt someone. And I think another thing which may actually also manifest the lack of Spanish players after all this conversation about Spain being the best team in the tournament. You also have to consider, will the attackers see out the whole game? And then you have to consider whether their talisman, their captain, Morata, the man that should be scoring all the goals, whether he's any good in the first place.
True.
So yeah, maybe you're onto something there, Tom. Maybe you're onto something.
Maybe. Oh, it's a shame none of the forwards are down as midfielders for France, isn't it?
Yeah, because they've got some very good wingers. You would be tempted to throw Dembele in there, say for example.
Yeah, I'm just tempted with him. I'm just I've convinced myself of this France hype.
I like it. I do like it, Tom. I do like it. And like we've said, the substitutes tend to make the changes at the moment, and Dembele will feature, and he may well feature off the bench, but we'll find out on your deadline stream, won't we?
We will indeed. What a lovely plug that was. Oh,
how are England doing?
We're winning. We're making the final. It's coming home.
What's your prediction?
1-0.
Who's scoring? Mark Gay.
It'll be someone proper rogue. It's gonna be like Rice, I reckon.
No, it'll be fucking Anthony Gordon who hasn't seen a blade of grass. Declan Rice, yeah, I like that shout.
Yeah, I reckon Deckers could be a decent.
From a corner, it won't even be a shot. It'd just be a scrappy. He touched it last.
Yeah, bumble in.
We're not really giving much credit to the player of the tournament. Own goals as well.
Yeah, Mr. Own Goals. I wish I could get him in my team, but he just doesn't want it.
Yeah, we haven't done a bed shitter of the week, have we? For a while. I look forward to that coming back when Fantasy Premier League comes back. I reckon after the semi-finals, we should do bed shitter of the tournament.
Yeah,
far.
I'd agree with that one. We'll do bed shitter
player of the tournament so far and bed shitter of the tournament so far.
Who do you reckon are worthy nominations then for bed shitter of the tournament so far?
I think Harry Kane.
He scored 2. He has scored 2.
I know, but a lot of the issue with England's lack of prolific attack has been down to him. I can't really say.
Yeah.
I think you could probably nominate a few of the French forwards for actually not scoring an open play, especially after they've created so much.
Yeah.
I think a lot of hype was on Mbappe, so you could probably argue him. Ronaldo.
Ronaldo's won it. I don't even know why we're bothering doing a competition. Ronaldo's won bed shitter of the tournament.
We'll try and nominate someone else, and he'll take it. He'll demand it.
Yeah, he'll be like, I would want this award. You know what I mean?
But yeah, and then player of the tournament maybe has more of a conversation about it.
It's probably if Gakpo scores against us, it's probably going to be him, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. I think there's a lot of defenders though that have put in good shifts. I
Yeah.
think Mark Gay's been a fantastic call up this tournament.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see. Well, it's a conversation to have, although it does sound like we've made the bed shitter already.
I think unless someone absolutely cacks their pants, maybe if Mbappe misses a penalty, I feel it's Ronaldo's to lose.
It really is when all those losing, he has to do nothing about it.
Yeah, literally. All right,
If
guys.
anything, him not playing these semis means he's got more chance of giving it away.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
if Portugal was through, there's more chance of him winning this award.
yeah. Oh, he's proper stunk this tournament, hasn't he?
Yeah, bless him.
Bless his
Might
heart.
be time you hang it up, lad.
Maybe, Ron. Maybe just hang it up, lad. Forget
See
it.
you at the World Cup.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see you there, mate. We'll see you there.
Along with, is Pepe 41? I
Pepe
think
is
I heard
41.
someone said he was 41 on the comms maybe 500 times. I can't remember.
Yeah. Off court, just put Gahey will get a transfer after this tournament. 100%.
Do you think he'll go this summer?
Yeah, apparently he's not signing a new contract at Palace.
Where would it be, do you reckon, most likely?
Would you not buy him?
Well, I mean, of course, I'd be tempted to buy him, but I just don't know if that's something that we'd be interested in as a club. I feel like it screams of a United transfer, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'd prefer him over.
Now that Varane's gone as well.
I'd prefer him over Branthwaite.
Well, yeah, and I would feel like you could
You could
actually
get
get
him
him
cheaper.
for a little bit cheaper, yeah.
You probably get him for like 50, 60. Branthwaite, you're talking 70, 80.
Mm. I like Branthwaite. Don't get me wrong, I do like Branthwaite, but um, you've already got Martinez, haven't you, United? You've already got that left-footed centre half,
Yeah.
and I do rate him. So yeah, okay, he's not a bad shout there for United. I think he'd fit right in. Yeah, I think he'd suit them out of anyone. I don't think City are about to go and get someone like that. Don't think they need him at the moment. Akanji's had one hell of a tournament, to be fair. I think I've really appreciated him as a defender now that he's played in defence.
Yeah, literally.
Played in his strongest position, but yeah. That'll be interesting. We're teasing fantasy football again, aren't we?
I mean, apart there's rumours circulating. It'll be out Friday, but we won't know till they start announcing prices. Usually, it's 2 to 3 days after they start announcing prices that the game drops. So if they start doing it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday's looking a bit fresh, you know.
Oh, don't get nervous.
It would be fair because I reckon then it'd be like video out Friday, and then maybe like a stream over the weekend.
Yeah, we should do a first draft. We should throw a first draft in. I'll do it actually not 5 minutes before the first game of the week.
I've come in. I've got Jeff Schlupp.
Wait, what are you saying about Jeff Schlupp?
You're fully just all gonna have Jeff Schlupp in there.
No, you know who? I know we're going off on a massive tangent, but one player I do think I will have on my team, Leif Davis. I really like the look of him, and I always do this every year. I start off with just one rogue guy from a promoted club.
What?
Well, I mean, they are playing Liverpool first game, but of course, that's the kind of game that a newly promoted side would probably win, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when Brentford beat Arsenal that Friday night game.
Yeah.
Anyway, we need to stop drooling and go back to the boring international football.
Yeah. That is going to conclude today's.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live. We've just been chatting, mate, for like 10 minutes here, just waffling. That is going to conclude today's stream. There will be a deadline stream on Tuesday, starting around 6ish. I'll have to wait and see because I've got a bit of a busy day at work, so it might be 6:30, maybe 6. I'll let you guys know. But there will be a deadline stream for that one as well. If you have enjoyed any of the content that you've seen on the channel today, maybe it's one of the videos or maybe it's today's stream, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. But me and Jake will be back after the semi-finals, previewing the final as well. So if you like these streams as well, hit that subscribe button. But we will see you soon, and then FPL starts. So happy days.
Yeah, very much so. It's coming home.
It is coming home. See you later, guys.